taking a call on this bill. I've come into the House here and been astounded, really, that we've got the bill here, then it's supported by the national government. In fact, it's their bill put up, and some sweet irony here, I guess, and I've written a new title for the bill, and it's Save Bills But Bill, really, because Bill English and the national government came in their first budget and slashed savings and any attempt to have savings in this country. And now what we have is a bill that quite rightfully, because Labor's going to support it, quite rightfully facilitates superannuation payments made in Australia to be brought back into this country, because we now realise, and the government now realises, that there is value in having superannuation funds, having funds available to invest in this country and develop it. Well, it's a bit late, Bill, because, Mr Speaker, the Minister of Finance, Bill English, and Jerry Brownlee and John Carter, his fellow ministers, have been asleep. In fact, I just heard a question from Mr Brownlee before. What did Labor do? Well, we set up Kiwi Bank, we set up Kiwisaver, we set up a superannuation fund. That's what we did to develop higher levels of savings in this country, because we understand the value, as the previous speaker said, in investing in ourselves, utilising savings made by us. The Australians, and we might criticise them and their rugby and their netball from time to time, but they have been so smart for so long. 8% of their income invested in superannuation. That's smart. And now, Bill English, the same minister who destroyed our attempts to get savings up and running in this country, destroyed the Labor initiatives, parked up the contribution to the superannuation fund and to Kiwisaver, parked it up, undermined the superannuation fund. Now that same minister realises that, well, if we're not doing it ourselves, maybe we should get access to the $16 billion accumulated in Australia by New Zealanders working over there through a compulsory scheme that says 8% of your salary should go into superannuation. Smart. Well, we started out 4%, moving in that direction. And in fact, the ACT Party now, through its supplementary order paper, the ACT Party is saying people should be able to contribute more. The ACT Party, in all its ignorance on most issues, I have to say, now realises that superannuation is very smart. Well, thank God they've learned something in this House over these years. And the National Party has too. So rather than continue with the savings initiatives put in place by the Labor government, the National government slashed that, gutted it, undermined it in their first budget, and now, to make up for that, says, we want some of that Aussie money, we want to get our hands on that $16 billion, so they'll save Bills but Bill, so that Bill English can stand up in a year's time and say, well, we've got savings up and running, we've got an inflow of money into the country, so we can look at investing in ourselves, because there have been noises coming from the National Party just recently on that. Oh, we should start thinking about our savings. Our savings haven't been quite good enough. We can't invest and control our own destiny. Wake up, Mr Brownlee. Wake up, Mr Carter. That's it. Wake up. Those messages, that truth has been there for a long time, and the Labor government moved on it. We moved on it through the superannuation fund. We moved on it through Kiwisaver, and you slashed and gutted those two key initiatives. And now you're talking about reinventing something. And through this bill, saying that the money accumulated in Australia, the $16 billion, should be able to come back to New Zealand. That's great. That's smart. That's exactly why the Labor opposition is supporting that. But it's a bit sad to know that the same ministers who gutted our savings regime are now attempting, in a piecemeal way, to get a savings task force or think tank or chat room back up and running. Well, if they'd just taken a little bit of advice from the previous Labor government and continued on with our commitment to superannuation and to Kiwisaver, we'd all be a lot better off, and we wouldn't have to rely on the $16 billion that this bill will help bring back into the country.